up, guys? Welcome back to Black Coat Gaming. Will you shut up?
No!
Welcome back to Black Coat Gaming. I guess we should have been doing a battle report, but again, we thought it'd be more important that we should do a post-tournament report.
Yes.
Yeah. We have Simon with us. Of course, we have Steve back. And obviously, Steve and I, and if you haven't watched the video, I highly suggest you go back and watch last week's video, because that was the pre-tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And that will give you all the information you now need to know for this video. So if you haven't watched it, pause this one, go watch that and come back. Because we're going to be talking about stuff that was from the previous video. But welcome back. And obviously, start off Glasshammer.
Yes.
Now, they've just released the GT for next April.
Yep.
Yep.
We're all going. Mm-hmm. You are going.
Sure.
We're definitely going.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would like to. I need to.
We have about 30 crows going.
Already?
Yeah. And don't forget, discount on your tickets. Put in the code Black Crow at checkout and you'll get 5% off your ticket.
Yeah.
As well as everything else on their website.
Yeah.
So don't forget to do that.
Be the first 100 and get free dice as well.
Get free dice as well.
Actually, I think there's still in the window for that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Just not
forget.
the rainbow ones.
Just not the rainbow ones.
Yeah.
I've already asked Dan about that.
It's
like, Dan, I want the rainbow ones. What's this whole thing about I can't have rainbow ones? Why not?
Yeah, they are pretty.
And then, of course, Terrain Forge, who you will see in front of you, BCG5 at checkout, and give you another 5% off them as well. So for all your WTC, UKTC, custom terrain, amazing.
Yeah.
And if you go back to our previous video, you will obviously see that Steve and I spoke about the fact that not only have we played on this weekly for over a year, I've taken this to events as well.
Yeah, it's still holding up.
You know, when we've gone to these local events to sort of help the local community, they've asked for help and support in the terrain. I've taken this along, and still, there's not a single chip or mark on it.
No, it's not. And you treat it like an animal. You just wear a box.
I literally do, yeah.
We play world beaters on it. What do you expect?
Yeah.
And then Coxie, obviously, as always, has done the crank. Maybe it's Coxie's paint job. No, it's definitely the terrain.
Definitely terrain.
Yeah. But yeah, so this is our post-tournament report. We went to
Kirton Carnage.
Kirton Carnage.
Yes.
This is like their, I don't know, 8th or 9th of GT, something like that. No, 6th GT, I think.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Yeah, it's been a number.
I've obviously, Steve and I mentioned that we've missed the last few. I think you went to the last GT.
Yeah, I did go to the last GT.
Yeah. And he was the player judge at this one as well, as he was the last one. And actually, weirdly, it really made me feel a little bit sick inside, but I had to actually ask him to come and rule something.
I ruled in your favour. What's wrong with you?
Well, no, I knew it was in my favour. My opponent didn't think the same.
They've obviously seen our videos.
And it is always difficult as a player judge when you get called by one of your own teammates.
Yeah.
You know,
but no, so I never asked him on the expectation of being in my favour. No. It was just more of a case of it was a very
just
clear
gone the
rule.
other way. Just to spite him.
Yeah.
Of course you can't do that.
No.
We will cover that later in the episode, build anticipation. But yeah, I'll cover that later on the episode. But yeah, for me, it was a good event. I enjoyed it. It was nice to go back to Kirton. It was good to see some old faces.
Yeah.
How about you?
I had a great time. I had loads of fun.
I know you did.
Yeah,
How about you?
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I had a lot of fun, to be honest.
How was the War Dogs for you?
Good. Yeah, they were everything they should be, and I've not really managed to sort of pull it out before. So, it went well. And I think probably our practice games against the Blood Angels sort of showed me how I need to play a bit more, sometimes defensively and then aggressively when I need to, which actually really helped at the weekend, because instead of just throwing stuff down people's throat, apart from one game, which I did, but we'll come on to that one as well, because I just needed to. But I think that actually got me thinking a bit more tactically with them.
Yeah.
So,
it's a bit like we spoke about in the last episode. You can be a bit more of a bully rather than an aggressor with them.
Yeah.
And you can just sort of like go, well, okay, this is now on my terms. If you want to come at me, come at me.
Absolutely.
And
as I said in the pre-one, because I wasn't playing my World Eater, so therefore, how many first-turn charges can I get? I'm actually playing it a bit more defensively to just grab objectives rather than just run past them going, somebody else get that.
Yeah.
How many first-turn charges did you make?
I still made a few.
You'll be surprised how far a carnivore can go and charge for a building.
I am not surprised at all. How'd you do it to me? I'll be safe here. Oh God, I'm not safe. How did you do? You had fun.
The Blood Angels.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'm extremely happy with the list.
Good.
But I will get onto it a little bit later about why it didn't go as well as it should have.
And I called it in the pre-one.
Yes.
Terrain.
You did.
Yeah.
And I will leave that cliffhanger once we come on to you.
Right, okay.
Suspense.
Not about me.
Well, no, because you were originally taking Space Wolves.
No, I was never taking Space Wolves. No, I was.
You were.
Yeah.
You were taking Space Wolves.
Yeah.
And then, as you can see from this clip, there's a curry.
Yeah.
So, what was your list this weekend?
No, we said we weren't going to ask him to do his list.
Takes too long.
Yeah, we don't want to send people to sleep this early. It's fine. So it was a Real Space Raid because, as I've said countless times, I love the Real Space Raid. And it was an Archon with the enhancement to get an extra pain token. There was Lilith, and there was Urium Rakarth. And then there was 2 Beast Pack Masters. There was 3 squads of 5 Racks with the sniper rifle with the Ossifactor Liquefier. And then there was 2 squads of 6 Grotesques. There was 2 squads of 5 Scourges with the Dark Lancers. There was 2 squads of 2 Talos with the Haywire, with the Liquefiers, with the Gauntlets. There was 1 Kronos, and then 2 squads of Mandrakes. And then my MVPs, actually, for the event, I absolutely loved them, was 3 squads of 5 Hellions.
Wow.
And I loved them, Hellions, honestly.
Gross. Where are the boats, Si?
You don't need no boats when you're just going to be running at people with fucking hoverboards. Do you know how many turn 1 charges I made?
Go on.
5. Every single game.
Really?
Essentially, yeah. I just went for it. So, yeah.
Scary would be proud.
He would be very proud. This Beast Pack.
I hope he's watching this because that's a hell of an effort.
I put up the results on Reddit because there's a Shikari thing on there. And Scary was one of the first to comment, just going, I love the list. I'm like, yes! Vindication! And yeah, I've just had people just going, I did not expect to see that list. And all my opponents all weekend was going, where's the boats? I don't understand it.
How do I deal with
How
it?
do you deal with it now? Yeah.
I had the same thing. The Tuesday before the event, I played Simon, and I was just like, oh, fuck.
Yeah. So I submitted this list and then didn't play it. And then played it after list submission. And went, ooh, I like this list.
Thank God you did.
I know, yeah. I mean, I probably would have gone, Rob, I need to change my list. Please.
Yeah, it was a little bit spicy.
Yeah.
But no, that's fantastic. And so we're coming to Steve first, purely for the reason that you weren't here last week.
No.
So you can fucking wait.
All right, fair enough.
Steve, how did your weekend go?
Well, I suggested I was hoping to go 3-2 in the pre-one.
I have to admit, I rewatched that video yesterday. I feel like our predictions were everything was perfect. We called it.
Yeah, everything and it worked. Yeah.
We clearly know what we're talking about.
Yeah. And I did go 3-2, which was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done.
Well done.
I played Ross with his Orcs, 18 killer cans versus 13 Knights in the first round. 2 Carnivores charged 6 killer cans, failed to touch anything. Killer cans struck back, killed the Carnivores. That sort of sets the tone for how the game went, really. It was, we played all 5 turns. I'll be honest, by turn 2, because of that type of combat, and with me failing and losing models left, right, and centre, it was like, I'm not going to. I could give up, but I'm not going to because I need to play.
Yeah, points,
and it's not fair on the guy either to just go, I've lost, sorry. So, so that was fine. I then played Anthony with his Orcs. This was
so
downstairs.
What's the score from the first game?
79-28.
Okay.
Yes, it was appalling, and 10 of those were for painting, of course. So that was even better, you know. So it really shows you how well my
you knocked 20 off points off of him, so screw it.
Yeah. I then played Anthony with his Orcs, but he got Beast Snaggers and loads of boys, which actually played really well into my list because the Brigands just hosed them down.
In fact, we spoke about this last week. Horde armies into chain cannons don't like it.
No.
So
not at all.
Yeah, the boys just get evaporated.
Yeah. And that's exactly what happened. I mean, I felt a bit sorry for him, to be fair, because I ended up getting him boxed into his own deployment zone. I mean, the things that were really good were his war bosses who did duff over, one-on-one against the carnivore. They would take them out if he got the charge.
Yeah.
But if he didn't, they just died.
Yeah.
So which was okay. I then played Richard with his Ultramarine First
Company, yeah, because I played him as well.
Yeah, you played him as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cracking guy. However, we set up, he put 6 Blade Guard down with a Judicaire at the back. I fired 13 Havocs into them in the first turn and left him with...
You need to make this into a quiz.
Yeah, it should be a quiz. Yeah. So please put in the comments how many you think should have died.
Now pause the video and then leave a comment.
Yeah.
Because actually 5 died. 1 took 2 wounds, and the Judicaire was like, "What the hell's this? We're getting out of dodge." So they legged it into the home objective and hid for the rest of the game.
I've never heard that happen before.
No,
not with Strength 5, AP 0, indirect.
No,
it was terrible dice roll.
It was. I mean, I was just doing 4, 5, 6 shots, something like that.
You're hitting on 4s as well.
Yeah.
Like this is disgusting.
And he was just he'd roll his dice and go, "Oh look, 4 ones." Another one off. So yeah, it was a shame. So I mean, but we had a cracking game. He dropped his 25 Terminators in my back line, and then so I had to go backwards to go and kill him, which was a bit frustrating rather than keep going forward. But yeah, it ended up 80 something to 40 odd because he grabbed a few points while we were sort of swinging to and fro on the table. But basically, I mean, his army got cut in half with Terminators this side, everything else over there. So I killed all of those and then came back to get the Terminators. So, which was I had to spend a turn walking, which was frustrating rather than killing stuff. It is what it is. Which then set it up for Saturday night when we looked at the who'd drawn who, and I'd got Ben with his Imperial Guard with 3 Rogel Dawns and about, I don't know, an entire tank's company worth of Chimeras stuffed with blokes.
It was 6 of them, didn't it?
6 or 7, yeah. I think it
was
at least 6. Yeah, it was a good army. And we chatted at the start, and I said to him, bearing in mind, I do have this strat that I can run through vehicles, models, everything else. Yeah, that's fine. He moved his screen up, but still left me enough room to physically charge 2 carnivores through them into the gap and then straight into 2 Rogel Dawns, which I killed. The third one was then going, "Oh my God, there's loads of them." So, and I literally just had carnivores behind his back lot, behind his screen, and everything else coming up.
There's poor guardsmen in like Chimera just going, "What the hell was that?"
What the hell was that? Yeah.
Shivers.
And that one ended up 95-38 to me. So that was It was a real good win.
The one thing I would have said about that game, though, is I think that your opponent in that game probably had the same game plan for every matchup. Was just sort of 6 Chimeras, everything jumps out, it screens out the middle of the board.
I was playing next to him game 5, and I did see him literally just put the Chimera straight out and just pushed them out, and then
So he probably went through
and
the
I
same
guess it
game.
works. Apart from it won't work against Josh because he'll just jump over him. Same with you with your Hellions. It didn't stop me with the Carnivores.
Yeah.
But obviously, a lot of other lists, it will just deny them because you kill 10 guardsmen and then you've still got to then smash up a Chimera. Then you've got to try and get through. By which time the other Chimeras have moved, the Rogel Dawns have evaporated the threat, and then all the doors close again. So it works. But his chat with his mates in the evening had been, I need to gun all of those down. I need to stop them getting in, and I need to shoot them off the table with the Dawns. Yeah, and then I win. He said, and then you were just on me in turn 1. But it was a good game. Nice guy.
That was Dawn of War as well, wasn't it?
It was Dawn of War, so it wasn't too bad for me to get across.
Well, it's not, because 12 inches
12 inches in, I'm moving 14, and then I charge.
Yeah, it's crazy.
With a reroll on the Carnivores. So it's easily doable. And then last round, best game of the tournament, to be honest, was against Paddy from Bugle with his Nids. I've not played Nids really in this edition, so he explained his entire codex to me to infinite detail about how harvesters work and whatever. I'll be honest, it was like, okay, I just when it gets there, tell me what you're doing. It's fine. And we had
we need to do a Steve special of how to go to a tournament. Yeah. Just, I'll worry about it later.
Absolutely. Yeah, tell me when it matters. And we had a couple of really good scraps in the middle of the table. He threw his tyrants and tyrant guard into the centre. I threw carnivores in and brigands, and I was shooting his guys down, and we were fighting. He's got fight first, which was a pain in the backside. But we were whittling stuff off each other all the time. So it was really good. And I just said to Sire just off air, but I killed his last tyrant. And literally, Paddy put his dice around. He walked around the table, and I thought, here we go then. And he went, I just want to shake your hand because nobody else has ever killed these 2 units in their entirety. So it was like, oh, fantastic. But I mean, he beat me. He got 72, 74, something like that, and I got 61. So it wasn't a million miles away. It was close enough. I think if I'd have been able to kill the threat units the turn sooner, then I could have romped into everything else, but I just couldn't. I ran out of time. So, so ended up 3-2, 5 cracking games, really good, enjoyed it. And got a lot of nice comments about me Purple Knights, so which is always good. Good. So, I was pleased.
Yeah, so really solid 3-2.
Yeah, very good.
No, appreciate that. That's really good. As you guys know, I took the Blood Angels. If you haven't, I'm going to say it again. Watch the previous video.
You filthy meta chaser.
Did you say that?
You painted them in 2 weeks. You're a meta chaser.
I did. So I took the Blood Angels, and do you know what? I actually really enjoyed them. And as Steve and I said in the last video, we knew where this was going, and it was completely dependent on the terrain.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't think I misfooted my deployment or movement throughout the whole weekend. It was purely just down to terrain. So my first game was actually against Mark, who you played in game 2 or 3?
Game 3.
Game 3.
Yeah.
With his first
company Ultramarines, whatever.
Yeah, first company
Ultramarines. How many blade guards did you kill on my turn?
All of them.
No, he didn't.
No, I did. I'll come to it. So, first game, I played Mark with his 25 Terminate. Yes, I did.
No, you played.
Oh, sorry, Rich. Sorry, Rich. You're probably watching this as well, person. But he's a lovely guy, great opponent. When I turned up to the table, I went, "Why have you got any curses?" He went, "Well, that's what's painted." I was like, "Why have you got infiltrators?" And he went, "Well, I didn't have them painted, so I bought the incursions instead." I was like, "Okay, cool." And that was just one of those sort of games. But a lovely guy. Don't get me wrong, he had some really nice tech gear on his list. -1 damage, which really hurts Blood Angels. Because everything's flat too.
Yeah, you're normally flat too, so you don't know what.
So he had some nice tech gear in there, which made it like going turn 2. Like he went first. No, actually, I went first, and I just kind of luckily got some really good cards, so I didn't have to overextend. I literally just pushed out some scout units and scored some points. He left some Terminators off the table. Most of it was on the table. He did have a Dreadnought, which I just kind of ignored for the whole game because it meant nothing. It was all anti-tank. It was the one with the las and the missiles.
The ballistas.
Which, funny enough, was a bit more of a threat to win.
Funny that, isn't it? Yeah. And so the game just it slowly came in turn 2 to the middle of the table in this little push fight. And I have to admit, in turn 2, I was like, oh, shit. This shouldn't be going the way it is, but I've got a lot of Terminators all of a sudden in my face. And unfortunately, he's getting charged off that he shouldn't be going off. Yeah. And I'm like, this could end badly. Yeah. And when I'm losing 2 or 3 Sandguard in a unit, and I'm thinking, no, this is not right. As the game goes on, getting to turn 3, and actually my counter punch, because luckily I've doubled up on my units. Yeah. So, my double Sandguard unit, my double Death Company unit, and so the first units are there, and I'm just like, well, okay, fine. I can't deal with this threat, and then the second wave comes in, and then by turn 4, I think he had literally 3 units left. It just evaporated his army. And then by the end of the game, he had Dreadnought trying to kill Mephiston on his home objective. So
smack him with the las.
Literally.
No, bad vampire.
Yeah, and that's basically what the game came down to, was just my counter punch in turn 3 and 4, which we spoke about. Weirdly, my Blood Angels list works better in turn 3, 4, and 5, as long as I'm still alive in turn 1 and 2. So I hide a lot turn 1. Hopefully, turn 2, I don't need to do a lot, and then I'll counter punch the crap out of you. Yeah. And so that game ended up being a 94-62. Let's say he scored up until turn 3, and then from turn 4 onwards, he started to struggle to claw points back. But where I started racking them up quite quickly. Game 2, I actually had a Blood Angels versus Blood Angels.
Yeah.
That's what you did.
Yeah. That was a very different Blood Angels to yours.
Completely opposite.
Yeah.
And I spoke to him, and he's a nice lad. Luke, name's Luke. I think he was from Beagle as well, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I had a chat with him before the game, and I went, I'm going to have to ask you the question, what is the incentive behind this list?
Right.
Because he had a Land Raider, a Repulsor, couple of Dreadnoughts, but the Ballistis Dreadnoughts, Assault Centurions. He had no Death Company, no Sandguard.
He had Terminators as well, didn't he?
Actually, he had no jump. Yeah, he did. He had Terminator. He had no jump pack at all, I don't think.
Which attachment was he on?
Same as mine.
Oh, okay.
So it's Liberator.
Right.
So the +2 strength, +1 attack.
Right.
On the charge.
So
I was
quite good.
Yeah, I was like, this could be quite potent. It couldn't be. I didn't really know. It's still a new codex. And my list is very MSU. It's not even MSU. It's just very 4-wound armor, like power armor all day long. So I was like, this could be a bit tricky.
Yeah.
Like he's got a lot of vehicles, a lot of anti-armor. Do wrong, and I think he took the list because of a lot of anti-armor, because the terrain normally is not great at Kirton.
Yeah.
And when I was talking to him throughout the game, like the Land Raider he had like las guns on it and stuff. So he was planning into like anti-armor. Exactly. So I was like, that's fine. I even had like a unit of company heroes in a repulsor.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, cool. And I managed to get a bit janky with the train, because the day one there's that weird little corner piece. It was like a magic box in the corner. So I just filled them with scouts and just like, well, you can't charge me because apparently it's a magic box, which is not a thing anymore. But it was when I filled them out. By the time I filled out scouts in a building, nothing could get in it. So that's what it was. And it was just one of those games where actually everything just happened in the middle of the table. So the Land Raider with the Centurion assaults went into the middle of the table, and I was like, okay, that's where you want to be. So I just mugged it with everything, wrapped it in Death Company and Sandguard. So then his assault Centurions had to do a desperate escape 6 inches away, and things happened. Like it ended up in a bloodbath of just all over the middle of the table, things dying. And weirdly, like Astroph's unit, their four-up fight on death just went off. So he literally killed like 6, and everything fought on death, and then just wiped out the unit.
Been there with you doing that,
and then that just wiped the unit that fought it. So that just basically killed a load of stuff. Like it was just one of those games where it just nothing went his way, and I think he almost had less units than I did because of the amount of vehicles he had.
Yeah.
So in Luke's game, it was an 86-59.
Nice.
Don't get me wrong, great game, nice opponent. But I did kind of look at them in the game. I went, why was this list the way it was?
Yeah.
I think he even had some Vanguard. He had a unit of units of Vanguard jump packs.
Okay.
And I was like, well, why don't you just take regular jump packs? Like, they're crap. But that's fine. That's what he had. That's what he wanted to take.
Yeah, people write different lists and do different things.
Exactly.
That's what they enjoy. And
so, I don't think he did too badly over the weekend. I think he still went like 2-3 or something.
Yeah.
Vaguely. I can't remember off the top of my head. Yeah, I think a lot of it was he's been a Blood Angels player for a little while. And that was the list that, I think he had readily available. He wanted to take.
Yeah.
He did wrong. He did the same thing when I turned up the table on game at the start of the game. He just went, why?
Yeah.
I was just like, we'll find out in a minute.
Yeah.
And so that was that. And then I played, obviously, James McLean, game 3. Cross Swords. I've played James before. I love James to bits. He's a great opponent. He was a perfect guy for me to play on a Saturday last game before we went to the pub.
Yes.
And he knew I was going to the pub, and I said, James, I'm going to the pub after this game.
Yeah.
Now, this is where
made it very quick.
This is where things went a little bit south for me. I said to James at the start of the game, I was like, you do know, and he was running his Tau this weekend. Now, I've played James a few times at events before, and he forgot how many times I beat him at events before.
Oh, okay.
I'd never actually lost to James before this
Right.
event. And I was talking to him, and I said, I'm not being funny. All the centre objectives, all the No Man's Land objectives,
We're very
are
open.
completely open.
Mm.
I said, you're running Tau with like double Riptide, 3 or 4 tanks, breaches, God knows what. Like, it was a very good list. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm like, as soon as I step onto anything, you're going to vaporise me.
Yeah.
So, bless him. And I said, look, that's just the way it is. There's nothing I can do about it. And bless him, he went and found Rob, who owns the store, and got him to change 2 buildings around, which, to be fair, made no fucking difference. But it's the effort and the forethought of being
And it's
like...
a very sporting move. Because
It was.
He could have just said,
exactly.
well,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
Exactly. So fair play to James. And I've always had respect for James. He's a lovely guy.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he did do that, but it went exactly how I expected. Every time I sort of came out to kill something, there was something else to turn up and kill it, basically.
Yeah.
Even like the crisis suits were disgusting.
Yeah.
So, don't get me wrong, I think the score was better for me than I was expecting. It was an 86-73. So, 13-point swing.
Yeah.
And I think even James was a little bit surprised by that. But I just had the way I played it was just like, well, if I'm going to go for it, I'm going to make sure that's dead. Then I've got at least something to try and keep up. But by turn 4, I just basically had no bodies left.
It was a bad mission as well because it was Purge.
It was Purge,
Yeah.
yeah. So James, I think, to be fair, up until turn 4, on turn 4, we were literally level pegging.
Nice.
He won it in the last turn. The funniest part about that game was there was a railgun tank. What's it called? Hammerhead. In combat with a unit of scouts for 3 turns. But the funny thing is, I was down to 1 scout in turn 5, and then that's what he killed, which gave him the extra 4 points for kill more.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. It was a really close game. Like I say, it was a bad mission from the get-go for me, and the terrain didn't help either.
No.
But that's absolutely fine. And then game 4, I played into Ross's Orcs, which is the 18 kilocan list that you played into game 1.
Which I couldn't kill.
And I killed all of them. All 18 cans were dead. The issue I had was the looters.
Which I didn't have the issue with, because knowing how good looters are, I havoc them off the table and kill them. Which is what I can do.
I didn't have that ability.
No.
So, but again, unfortunately, the terrain was not any good for my army, and all 3 central objectives were completely exposed. I mean, the buildings were only enough to get like a foot within cover on all 3 objectives. So again, I was just completely screwed.
Yeah, as soon as you stood on them, his looters open up, took you off it, waited for you to do
Yeah,
it
and
again.
because I'm on an objective, they're getting re-rolls, and it was just one of those games. But I managed to kill all his looters, all of his killer cans, and pretty much everything else, apart from the looters that were just sat in the middle of the table, in the top floor of the building, just annihilating everything like a fucking sniper.
Yeah.
And to be fair, he agreed at the end of that game. It was just like, this, that's what won me the game.
Yeah.
And so, well, it did. And I would completely agree with that, because it was, and I said to him at the start of the game, before we even rolled dice, I went, this would be a 20-point swing in your advantage, because I can't get there and do what I need to do. And as it was a 97-74. So I was about right.
Yeah.
So that was game 4. So I'm like, well, I've won 2, I've lost 2. And I'm like, okay, I just want a nice, comfortable game for game 5. I want something that I can go, look, my Blood Angels can really beat the shit out of stuff, because I know they can. But unfortunately, they are a Terminator, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right?
So you threw a temper tantrum because you were going to be on putting the low table. So I swapped tables with you, so you had to go. So you got
you say, sorry, for the audience at home, when we say low table, at Kirton, they have tables that are like, for tall people like us, standing height tables, which is amazing.
Yeah. Right?
It's nice and easy to access. You haven't got to bend over all the time. There is a couple of tables that are like normal sort of seating height tables. And to be fair, I didn't moan about it. I just went, "Oh, that's annoying." And then, bless your heart, you and Ross were like, "It's okay. Ross is a short ass. We'll take the low table."
I don't think he quite put it like that. He just said he was more suited to the lower table.
Yeah. He's a short ass. So yeah, thankfully, because my back was hurting.
Which confused the crap out of your opponent when he came upstairs and was like, "I'm supposed to be on this table? No, you're not."
Yeah, you can
go over there.
So anyway, we played on the height-wise higher table.
Yeah, the 5 foot table.
And I played Imperial Knights.
You did.
And I think he had a Castellan, a Warden, Paladin, and then a load of Helverins.
Yeah.
And
you say a load, I think it was like 4 Helverins.
It was like 4. Yeah. You don't get a lot in after that, to be fair. No. And that was just a game of like, well, this is Search and Destroy, which I'm like loving. It was Take and Hold, which I'm like, well, that doesn't work in my favour, but the terrain did.
And there was an extra objective as well.
Yeah. And there was an extra objective because it was hidden supplies, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So there's 4 in the middle, 2. So I'm like, okay. And all of them, I'm like, well, actually, they're quite accessible to a point. So I was like, right, that's fine. I can live with this. And also, I know Knights, and I know that because he's not Chaos, he can't run through walls.
Nope.
So I was like, right, I can stage the hell out of this, and I can move where I want to move. I can be where I want to be. And this is exactly why I built the list I did. Because if I was playing, for example, on WTC's terrain, this is exactly why it works. And it was playbook for how I built this list to work. Like, I knew he could move like 10 inches this way or 12 inches with Helverin. So if I'm here or if I move there, because I can move basically the same distance he can, I can just play keep away the entire game.
Turn it to hammer and anvil, Dawn of War games.
I mean, he didn't fire a shot for 2 turns. Like, he didn't fire a single shot.
Did he not have any havocs?
No, he didn't. Funny that. Well, I had a harder job against you than I did against him, even though he had 3 Titanic units. So, turn 1, I think I got Cleanse and I don't know, something else that was really easy to score. And I was like, fine. And I had scouts infiltrating near 2 objectives. I was like, right, that's an easy cleanse. So I just did that. And he got all excited because his paladin could just walk up and kill a unit of scouts. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. They're dead. So I'll just take them off. And then I literally had like staged Sangard, Death Company. I only left 1 unit off the table. I just left Mephiston off the table.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
I went, do you know what? I might as well put everything on the table and just move when I want to move and then just hit when I want to hit.
Yeah.
And I literally had a unit of Dante's unit of Sangard sat here, and it got to turn 2, and Simon's playing on the table like just down from me, and I just went, "Shall I charge the Castellan?" He's like, "Is that on?" I went, "With +1 advance and charges." So I did, and the Sangard absolutely tore a Castellan, a new one. It didn't survive, and then it moved. That 1 unit went on to destroy the Warden and a Helverin. It was absolutely disgusting. And then I basically tabled in my turn 4, and it was 100-37. So when people say Blood Angels, especially jump packs can't punch up, they certainly can.
Yeah.
And that's just basically that was the whole rhythm of the game. It was just a case of bounce into terrain, stage, charge, and that was it. I think I lost like 3 units in total because I could just bounce and be where I wanted to be.
Yeah.
That was my event. So I went 3-2. I ended up becoming 6th overall, so best of 3 and 2s.
Yeah.
And I was happy with that. I think in the previous video I talked about potentially going 4-1, and I think that would have been on if some of my matchups in the terrain was better.
Well, yeah, if the terrain had been better on the other 2,
it
could have been a difference.
I think, I mean, for example, for James, for example, in game 3 against a Tau, he said if the terrain was better, he would have beaten me. And I would tend to agree.
It was set up for a GW layout.
Yes, which is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But that's not what I played my list into.
No.
So,
and it's not how we generally build our list to play on this type of terrain.
No.
Not something suddenly a bit more random.
Yeah.
An event and that's down to us at the end of the day because we know that Rob doesn't do WTC or UK.
His terrain has improved.
His terrain's
over
got much
years.
better, but he doesn't comply with those type of tournaments that we're more used to doing. But that's fine. We should know that in Kirton it's going to be different.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And then we'll come on to this git.
You went into sleep mode when you were talking.
Wow. Fuck you.
You're going to fucking coma mode when I start talking.
I'm going to speak to Emma, get her to leave that in.
So Simon, bore us all to death.
Why, I will, fine. So yeah, I had a great time. So unfortunately, I got paired into Steve Cornell from Crosswords Game 1.
I love Steve.
I love Steve. I always have great games against Steve.
And if you're watching this, Steve, we do love you.
Yeah, nice to see you again, brother. It was, been far too bloody long.
Bless him, I hugged him from behind. He was like,
I'm surprised because he's a Slaanesh player, so I'd have thought.
I thought you enjoyed it.
Yeah. I mean, big someone like you come creeping up behind somebody and hugging them.
No,
That's not going to go well for a lot of people. It's fine. But yeah, he was running his the packed Chaos Space Marines one.
Yeah.
So essentially the index version.
Yeah, effectively, it's like last.
Yeah. It's a squad of Chosen, a 5-man Chosen unit with Abaddon, a couple of Rhinos, Predators.
I'll refer you to a previous
lots of
video.
stuff.
It's Abaddon.
Abby. Yeah, fine. Many lots of some cultists, and I was sort of looking at it going, it's Chaos Space Marines. I don't.
And he's got
play
bikes
them.
as well.
There's bikes in there as well, and I'm thinking, it's Chaos Space Marines. They are good still, and Steve knows his chaos really well.
They're still top tier, but at the same time, as you proved on the Tuesday before the event, that you kill Marines really well.
Yeah. So I was a bit worried going into that one, and he went first. No, I went first.
Didn't he have 3 Predators as well?
2 Predators.
2 Predators.
Yeah. 2 Predators. I can't remember if I went first or he went first, but either way, it doesn't matter because I went out and just pushed up and I went first because that was it. I set up the screen, made turn 1 charge with a beast pack unit, and just locked down one side, and then screened out the other side, and then just sort of put Grotesque onto objectives and put Lilith behind. So if you made a charge, then Lilith was just going to hook intervention into them and kill them. And it was just sort of it was after playing that game, I was like, I really like this list.
Yeah.
Obviously playing against you the Tuesday before, I was like, I really like this list. And then playing against Steve, who's an amazing Marine player, Chaos Marine player. And it was quite an eye-opening experience in that one. And just, pushing up ball presence on all the objectives, just denying away. And it ended up being like an 82-45 win for me. Wow. So I was a bit shocked by that one. Considering it felt really close. And it felt like I could sort of lose at any point. And then it got to like turn 4, and I killed Abby and the Chosen squad with Lilith, basically, with some grotesque help. He had a Hellbrute, which was a nice bit of tech because it gave some lethal.
Lethal and sustained.
Yeah, and I was like, oh god. So he was always around Abby to get the rerolls, and then that was a nice little bit of tech there. But it was just
and they're good as well because if you actually target them and you don't kill them, you hit them, they shoot you back anyway.
And he had Cypher as well.
Yeah, yes, he did.
Yeah, so he
got lots of different techie bits.
He put something in the middle, and then it's like, I'm going to kill this, and then didn't kill it, and then Cypher just turned around and went, oh, that's good. Just no.
Because if you shoot them within 6 of him, he shoots as well.
Yeah, and he was just horrible. So the Talos just turned around and went, not having that, so I went and smacked him in the face and killed him anyway. Yeah, so I didn't like that. So then I got paired into Clive and his Votan, game 2. And he had 3 land fortresses. He had a couple of Sagittars, he had some of the scout bikes, big blob of 6, a blob of 3, the new infiltrating ones on foot.
I remember walking over to your table on that one as well, and he just seemed to have he wasn't mid-table, but he just sort of screamed out basically like his whole first half of the No Man's Land.
Yeah, so it was Hammer and Anvil, and he got first drop, so he put his infiltrators right 9 inches away from my deployment zone, just literally halfway up the table. just to stop, obviously, my mandrakes and beastpack going forward there. So I put one squad of mandrakes over on the other side and just turned it from that side just to this side and basically just walk around it. And yeah, I think I went first again. Yeah, I went first in that one. Scout moved the beast packs one side into one land fortress. Scout moved the other land beast packs round, like in front of him, and then moved round and then go tag the other land fortress. Killed the infiltrating little dwarfs early.
Yeah, whatever they are.
Yeah,
they're called.
I literally just put the beast packs into 3 land fortresses and went, cool, you can shoot out, but you can be -1 to shoot because you're in combat. So they did die the next turn, but allowed the Talos to get up, allowed the Grotesque to get up, allowed Scourges to get into range of things, and just went, okay, we'll kill that, we'll kill that, we'll kill that. And it wasn't. I wasn't too worried about that.
Played into
Yeah. I mean, with the land fortresses being how expensive they are, it didn't allow a lot of stuff.
It doesn't got much left. Yeah.
But they have the ability to just get extra CP if they kill marked units, and he marked the mandrakes and killed them fairly early, which meant he had a load of CP. So he was fairly good for like CP and stratagems, but just tying them up and just taking over the board again, really. So it was a 77-62 victory to me. So it does seem fairly close in that aspect, but it didn't.
But it didn't feel like that, though.
No, I also felt fairly comfortable.
Whereas the one against Steve felt that it was much closer, and actually you doubled his score.
Yeah, which seems odd. I just don't get it. And then game 3, I faced Mark, who you faced game 5.
Yes, with his knights.
Yes. Yeah, so he was quite happily playing downstairs, and he got told he had to go upstairs to play me. So, he wasn't too happy about that. He had to walk upstairs and everything. And that was on Purge the Foe, on a Hammer and Anvil deployment.
I can't remember.
Yes.
Yeah, Hammer and Anvil.
Hammer and Anvil, yeah.
No,
it was Tipping Point, wasn't it?
It's Tipping Point.
Tipping Point. So, yeah, so slightly.
Yeah,
steps.
I played guard guy that round.
Yes.
Yeah, I know we opposite each other. Yeah.
And yeah, it was, I unfortunately went first in that one, and Scout moved again with the Beastpack unit and touched 2 Helverins and put another squad.
Badly.
They just tied him up.
No, I mean, did you?
No, I didn't touch him badly at all. I did like 3 wounds to both of them. I did 3 wounds to both of them. But just sort of literally denied him to walk around objectives. Set myself up on 2 objectives, so I was always going to be holding 2 at least. And he got kill. I didn't get a first turn kill, but he did. And then my turn 2, I got hold more because he was only on 1 objective. But then he got kill more. I still didn't kill anything until about turn 4.
Really?
Yeah, because I was just whittling down. The Dark Lancers and the Scourges just kept bouncing.
Okay.
Because he was rotating on units, and then he didn't really give me the Helverins a target. It was the big guys that were a target. His cards were terrible. His primary was doing really well, but his cards were terrible. Unfortunately, primary wasn't great for me, but cards were so much better. Like, it was cleanse, it was behind enemy lines, it was extend, secure.
Yeah.
I was like, cool, keep doing this. Yeah, contain. Yeah, I can do this all day. The Hellions didn't have a match.
So resetting your deck worked to treat them.
That was what I was doing on the phone, thankfully. I was like, I was on the phone because I'm not enjoying it on the cards.
You rigged that as well.
Yeah.
Hack the algorithm.
Yeah.
That's fine. I need that.
No. But yeah, the Helverins weren't going to be much use in that game because they're anti-infantry and they're only strength 4. So it was a case of just bring them in somewhere safe and then move them out for the next turn of level of screening. Just going, well, you're not getting down this lane to shoot this stuff. You can kill those. I will lose a kill. Fine. But it meant that the Talos can move up, the Grotesque can move up, Scourges can move up. I just sat on the objectives and just started. I think turn 3 and 4, I had to go and push. And that's when I just literally connected with everything and just killed essentially everything but the Castellan. So that was, a nice little win for that one. So it was a 72-58 win to me. And then parents went up on Saturday night and saw that I was going to be facing Lemon John from Bugle again, which was game 4 the last time. Sorry, Powerhouse Gaming, yes, formerly Bugle. But he's, last time we played each other, it was round 4 at Kirton GT last time. So we're going to play each other round 4 at Kirton GT this time. And he's running his CSM list that he's been doing quite well with. He's got his ticket to Warhammer World Championships and everything.
Okay.
So he's going to that, which is amazing work.
It's a nice list, to be honest.
Yeah, it was really, really good. We literally spoke at the start, like all the pressure was on him because he's won events, he's doing well with it. And there's no pressure on me because what the hell, no one expects this to do anything. So, but yeah, it was a really good game. It was Dawn of War, and I just probably lost the game early on by just making a silly deployment mistake. Instead of infiltrating with the mandrakes up a bit to cover half the board, I kept them at the back because I thought about mission play, and I didn't scout move the beast pack forward to protect my lines. I pushed them back to hide.
You pulled them back and didn't push the others up to.
So I pushed everything back, which gave him a launch pad to go straight into my lines. We killed both squads of scourges. Well, I left one scourge alive and whittled half the one squad of grotesque down to 3 man.
Wow!
And this was after one side got obliterated by a predator that they were hiding from, but he could draw an angle from because of the way the layout was. So I lost a few models, but that was it. It just sort of pinned me back, which is what I've been doing to everyone else every other game. So it was a learning experience. I only lost that by 10 points, so it's a 60-70. Wow. So I'm happy with how it got. I unfortunately only got to turn 4, which might have meant that I might have scored another couple of points, but likely John would have taken at least 20 more points, if not more. So I'll take that one. So unfortunately, that was the first loss, but to a seasoned pro like John on that one, I'll take that. And then I got paired into Ross that you'd faced. You both faced.
We both faced.
Yeah. Ross.
And he was feeling very confident about that one because he was beating you.
Yeah, he thought he was going to get a hat trick. Fighting us.
Yeah. So it was a search and destroy mission against the Killer Cans. He went first, pushed up. He didn't even get any shots off because there was no lines to shoot anything. Then I pushed up, pinned him on a couple of objectives. Unfortunately, killed the great big truck that had a load of boys inside of it.
Which made the OC push up.
Which meant, if I had just left it and then just maybe matched his OC on the objective of the truck with the beast pack, which is what I should have done, it just would have meant that the boys would have had to come out, which then opens them up to flamers and everything like that. And I don't go as close to the killer cans as I needed to.
Yeah.
So I lost a couple of Talos early on, lost some grotesques and things like that. But sort of lost it early on, but we pushed it back, kept scoring because I had all these units just to drop in and just go, cool, behind him lines got that. Forward at home, I got that. Clan's got that. And just sort of, it was mission play for me, just pushing and knowing that I had the speed to get around him and then go in second on a 6 objective max with taking hold.
Yeah.
It's like, fine, I know I can max secondaries, max primary. And it did. It was like 86 to 64 at the end.
That's really good.
Sorry, 68 56. So I went 4-1.
Fantastic.
Which was brilliant, surprising as anyone. Yeah. My goal was 4-1, but surprised when I actually got it in the end.
Thank heavens we shot a bit lower and then managed to achieve
it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. They're going, of course we're going to go 5 and 8.
Oh, yeah. So I was well happy.
No, amazing work. Yeah. It's a really great time.
We did.
I think it was great results. Obviously, there's a few other crows there as well.
Yes.
Special shout out to Ryan, who everyone calls the Wish.com version of me.
Yeah, no, he calls himself that. No one else calls him that.
To be fair,
he called himself that, hoping that everyone else would do it. And it's just like, no, you're
a ginger bearded lad.
Yeah.
But no, congratulations, Ryan, for getting most sporting.
Yes.
Or whatever they call it.
Yeah, most sporting.
It is most sporting.
The wooden spoon.
And the wooden spoon.
Yeah,
he needs to take that off.
And then special shout out to Joe.
Yeah.
Joe Deno.
Yeah.
I mean, as I say, we've been banging on about Joe's painting for a while, and then he goes and wins it. So, best painting to Joe and his crew army.
Yeah, stunning.
It's
the display board helped.
Yeah. That
was a feature.
That was cheating.
Yeah, gotcha.
Although, to be fair, watching him carry that down on Sunday morning in the car park was hilarious.
Yeah. He didn't even offer to give him that.
People on the footpath ahead of us.
Yeah.
And there was one woman who walked down and she sort of went,
Boys and toys.
So Joe went full nerd mode, but it's fine.
Yeah.
And he won best painted, so respect.
It's a really pretty army.
It is stunning.
So
it's great. Everything's converted. I didn't realize his stealth suits were actually stealth lizards.
It's great, isn't
so
it?
they're AOS what lizard men, whatever it is.
Yeah.
His drones are being carried by Crute.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my
God.
It's a really impressive army. Go check Joe out on Instagram and wherever else he is. For his work. But so Crow still came out with some hardware this weekend.
Yeah. I unfortunately finished 5th, and I already said that.
I came 6th.
You did?
So unfortunately I have to, for the first time in like 2 years, hand over the Kirton Cup and the GT Cup to Simon.
Yeah, I know. You've
Should-
been hoarding it, mainly because you haven't been defending it. You don't go to
Lost
bed.
them. You don't even know where they are.
But these ones,
Yeah.
lovely.
Take them home.
Yeah, I need
actually-
a polish, man. What's going
That
on with
was it. Definitely needs a polish.
Yeah, it actually hurts a little bit.
it? Just burn the
That
dust
could-
off it. It's all right.
They've been there a while.
Yeah. I said you've never been to an event to defend them.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I'm only doing 1 day now, guys.
Yeah. Curtain Cup that's been here because you don't go to Curtin anymore. Yeah, fine.
Anyway, thank you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this.
Changes?
Changes of what? Oh, lists.
lists, yeah.
That.
Well, Steve's list isn't changing, is it?
No, you like the dogs.
No, I'm not dropping. It's 13. I like it. It works spot on points wise. It would probably be a bit more effective with some Nurglings, or as you're running with Plague Bearers, it would do, but it's not how I want to play it.
No.
Which is
No.
absolutely
Which is-
fine.
yeah,
but for people at home, you take Plague Bearers. They're amazing.
Sticky objectives.
But I'm House Divine, so if I was going to take Demons, I'd be taking Demonettes, which are rubbish.
They're shite.
Yeah.
You know, so it's if I want to play in keeping to how I like to play the lore and whatever for my own armies,
Yeah.
then
You can paint
that's how I do it.
them pink.
Could
Like-
Plague Bearers pink, yeah. That'll be pretty nasty.
That'd be wrong.
Yeah, that'd be
Team
so wrong, yeah.
Bearers. It's fine.
Yeah.
So,
You know, the list works.
the list works. It worked really well for me. As I said earlier, it sort of taught me a lot of things. It was not going for the first turn charges. It was not doing other stuff. It was actually playing a bit more defensively and protecting my lines. So I enjoyed that. I'm doing the Glasshammer RTT on the 24th, I think it is, of November.
Nice.
Going out for a 1 day. I'm going to spend a weekend with my mate Mike, who's played on
Yeah.
stream. We're going to do the Sunday one. So and then I'll come home
That'd be
on
good.
Monday. So that'll be nice. So I'm going to take it out for that. So
And if you guys are going, give Steve a
yeah,
plug.
give me a shout.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely.
Or if
So
you're
yeah,
there.
so for me, no changes.
Nice.
Fantastic.
You have some ideas.
So I have some bad ideas.
Yeah.
Now, like I said earlier in the video, my list I'm extremely happy with. And if I was going to a World Teams Championship, that's what I would take.
Mm.
Because WTC terrain, it works amazingly.
Yeah.
And it still works okay on UKTC.
Mm.
That's not always the case. Some events don't play that way. So,
But to be fair, the Glasshammer layout is totally different because they've got 3 forests in it and stuff like
well,
that.
exactly. So
Okay.
again, like, trouble is, I'm not playing on the Glasshammer of that list. I think it would still do okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of line side blocking terrain with glass.
Exactly, yeah. So I still think that list would work okay. Although probably not as well as... It won't work as well as WTC.
No.
It'd be on par probably with UKTC.
Yeah.
For that jump pack list.
Yeah.
So a few changes I would make is I would drop Mephiston. He was amazing in a couple of games. In some games he was crap.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, well, actually, I could squeeze in a unit of Inceptors.
Yeah.
Which will probably do the same job, maybe a little bit better.
Mm.
So potentially put them in. Another list I do is going completely away from Liberator. Don't laugh. Going completely away from Liberator. And actually, I'm just going to put up the list quickly so I can explain this to you because it's really dumb.
Yeah.
And I know it's been talked.
Yep.
I know it's been talked about on the forums vaguely. Maybe actually, I don't know. I don't think it has. It may have been. Either way, you take Angelic Host, and then in my list, I've got a jump captain that has Gleaming Pinions. So effectively, he leads a unit of Sandguard, and every time you get close to them, they can just basically move 6 inches away.
Okay, that's pretty
It's
good.
great, right?
That's really good.
You then take Dante with another unit of Sandguard, and these are 6-man units. You then take 3 units of jump pack intercessors, just 5-man units with a fist.
Just standard JPIs.
Just no Death Company. There's actually no Death Company at all on this list.
Okay.
And then you take a unit of 6 Inceptors of Plasma, another unit of 6 Inceptors with Plasma, and then a unit of 6 Inceptors with Assault Bolters. So that's 18 Inceptors. With a unit of Infiltrators, the 2 units of Sandguard to go the characters, and unit of Scouts. Now, the whole base behind this list is the fact that this detachment allows me to pick up uppy downy, effectively, 2 units of jump packs per turn. Or battle round, if you like. So Inceptors having the 3-inch deep strike means that they can do that every turn.
Yeah.
So there's just nowhere for you to hide. There's nowhere for you. If you want to screen out, carry on. And if you don't, I'm just going to blast
They're
the
trying to screen out. Well, all right, they're
trying to screen out 3
they're a
inches.
relatively big base for 6 models.
They are.
They are, but
But
that's
it's 3
still
inches, yeah.
It
So
keeps people
massive,
back.
yeah.
yeah, exactly. You've still got to be within 12 inches of another model
To stop it.
deny that unit.
Yeah,
so it's a lot to deny across a board, effectively.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't, they still start on the table, move 10, 18-inch shooting range. They have assault. They have twin linked.
Yeah.
Like, they're really useful. So 18 Inceptors is my potential new list.
Yeah.
And then my favourite thing about that whole detachment is there's one CP strat that if you kill a unit of mine, my Sangar get rerolls to hit and wound for the rest of the game against that unit. Which I think is just hilarious.
That's not even a once per game use, is it?
No. So every time you kill a unit, like once you do.
You're just going to feed
that
out some
unit's
scouts
getting
into it.
Yeah. They're just going to get it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's the most optimal way of playing it, and I still think Liberator is the way to go for an all-round list. But like, for example, if I'm going to an event where the terrain is not great, I think 18 Inceptors are going to do disgusting work.
Yeah, the stuff that's going to bounce up and down all the time is going to be far better if it's poor terrain.
Exactly. Yeah. So, how about you, sir?
I'm just going to go vomit. So that list for me is, I usually come away from events going, I'll change this, and no, this one I came back and just went, I'd change 2 things. I dropped 1 squad of racks, so I've only got 2 squads of 5. Drop the Kronos, which is probably controversial for a lot of Drakari players, because when I'm already on 6 pain tokens at the start of the game, and then in my turn go to 7, I don't need the refund on it.
It almost reminds me of 8th edition a little bit.
Yeah.
Like when you used to start with 12 CP,
Yeah.
it's just like, well, actually, do you need something that's farming CP? No. And for you, I don't think you need to be farming these points.
No, because I've got enough bodies that I just send them out and go, I'm going to kill something, that's going to get me a pain token.
Yeah.
Which means it gives me 110 points, so I can stick in 10 Cabalites, which get a Dark Lancer, Shredder, a Blaster, and a Splinter Cannon. And it gives the Archon 10 ablative wounds.
And I think that's amazing because, as you say, the Kronos, you don't do anything with it.
He's good just for sitting in the back of the holding.
Well, this is it, though. He just sits behind walls, just giving you buffs and gaining.
And this list does not want to be stationary. This list is moving out.
Yeah, so I think the Cabalites buffing your Archon is a really nice.
So it gives them sticky.
Nice change.
Is your Archon lone op?
No. I've got no lone up characters.
So you could actually.
So the Kronos is like a bodyguard unit. Sorry, the Cabalites is a bodyguard unit.
Yeah. I was using Lilith literally by herself. She doesn't have any witches to attach to.
No, but I was just thinking for my list, so I could just nail her. But if she's suddenly got 10 bodies with her, I've got to put everything in.
I mean, the Archon was never sitting out in the open. It was always in the corner of a ruin, same as Lilith, same as Urian. To be fair, Urian was probably in the middle sometimes, just going, well, I've got a 4-up pinball and I've got 4-up feel no pain. Waste your shots into me.
Yeah.
And the amount of times people were wasting shots into me, it's like, oh, okay, I failed 2 inbols out of 8 shots. Okay, that's like 8 damage. He's taken 3. And it's just disheartening when opponents just go, what the hell? I'm not just going to shoot him anymore. Good, I don't want you to. And he stands back up on a 2-up anyway, so it's like, crap on. So yeah, that would be my only change. And I really like that idea. It's just, sticky objectives and Cabalites means I stick him at home and then run out into somewhere else. And I've suddenly got 21 OC on the unit that can just go jump onto middle objective, sticky that. Put units on it like the Grotesques, like the Hellions, like the Talos, and just go, come and get it.
Okay. Nice. Good.
So, yeah.
Some nice changes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let us know what you think in the comments.
If you think we're mad, let us know.
Yeah.
Think we're geniuses.
Actually,
let us know.
Please do.
If you think Josh is a meta chaser, please post it.
I finished below this bastard Drakari.
I know.
It's because you're a meta chaser.
Yeah. Proper gamers turn up with lists like that.
I honestly give up. That's it, I'm done.
Yeah, we broke him.
Do you know what? I'm done for the rest of the year.
He's going to go. He's going to go play bolt action instead.
Yeah, he'd better chase that and all. Which one's the best army? Fine.
It must be us because we won.
That's true. Yeah.
But no, thank you as always. Yeah, let me know if my lists are disgusting because apparently everyone else does.
Yeah.
Even though it doesn't win. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah.
Thank you from Simon.
Thank you.
Thank you from Steve.
Thank you.
I thought you guys were going to say thank you from Simon as well.
And
But
thank you from Josh.
Yeah.
cheers, guys. See you next week.
Bye.